Celtic Speed Scottish Mini Cooper Cup 2011. Welcome along to Knockhill for the final round of the 2011 Celtic Speed Scottish Mini Cooper Cup, and two drivers left to shoot it out for the title today. David Slay and Vic Covey Jr. 20 points separate them, 40 points on the table this weekend. Here's how the table stands. Slay and Covey separated by 20, a further 34 points back. Tim Slay and Chris Smiley, who are squabbling over third place. Then it's Adam Leach, race winner last time out, and Hamish Brandon. The Newcomers Championship, that's already gone the way to Tim Slay, with Adam Leach in second place, Kyle Reid in third. And the Ladies' Cup, that's been secured by Fiona Wallace. But close for second place, Elaine Marshall and Emma Bruce will do battle this weekend. Steph McMurdo fourth from Louise Flitton, and Gemma Dreelan in sixth place. The first point of the weekend, though, always goes to the pole sitter, and for the first time this year, it's Tim Slay who's grabbed that point, with Chris Smiley lining up alongside him. Row 2, Vic Covey Jr. and Hamish Brandon. Covey ahead of championship rival David Slay, who's on the outside of row 3, with Kenny McLeod on his inside. Then it's Alan Walk and Adam Leach, race winner last time out, Adam of course. Then Guy Johnston and James Bruce, Murray Muir and Tom Denham lining up on row 6. Row 7 sees ladies pole sitter Elaine Marshall with Louise Flitton next to her. Then it's Mikey Falconer and Fiona Wallace, Scott McKenzie and Emma Bruce on row 9 of the grid, and the 20 car lineup completed by Steph McMurdo and Danny Dreelan. Wet and a little bit of breeze here at Knockhill for race number 22 of the 24 race season. Chris Smiley's car nearest to us on the right of shot, and down behind him you can see the core cut logo of Vic Covey Jr. 20 cars on the grid, and if you look at the yellow squares with the black cross, that tells you we've got a number of newcomers still racing with us, which augurs particularly well for next year. And they said at the start of the season it was going to be about, realistically, about 4 drivers: David Slay, Vic Covey Jr., Tim Slay and Chris Smiley. And it has been about those 4. Those 4 guys have been the race winners thus far. Add into the mix Adam Leach, who was a first-time winner last time out on the 10th of September. So we're still getting first-time winners in the Scottish Mini Cooper Cup, which is marvellous. I wonder if we'll see another one this weekend. I think we might, perhaps, if the reverse grid draw is kind enough to us. But great start from fourth on the grid by Hamish Brandon, who outguns Vic Covey Jr. off the line. Covey's characteristic slow start there, I've got to say, but he's quick through the gears, and a good recovery by Covey into third place, muscles his way through. Make no mistake, Covey wants that third position. Tell you what, he wants to go another 2 positions higher as well, and everybody away safe and sound. Down into Scotsman for the first time, but it's Tim Slay that's converted pole position into the lead from Chris Smiley in second in the 22 car. Smiley with 6 wins so far, the most prolific winner of the year, looks to the outside line. Covey Jr. in third place. David Slay back in 5th position at the moment. Hamish Brandon in 4th ahead of him. Hamish is going to be really buoyed by that in the Panda car. And then down behind them we've got Guy Johnston running well, because good to see Guy Johnston up the order. One of the cars just taking a moment on the grass, but manages to recover as they come down into the hairpin for the first time. And Slay's coming under pressure from Johnston. Guy Johnston having a good go around the outside in the 24 car, and he's got the outside line here, gets a wheel on the dirt, comes back in, contact into Hamish Brandon, who spins around, loses his front. A light touch on the tyres. Disappointment for Brandon. We've got tyres running on the course, that could be dangerous. Hamish, I think, is he going into pit lane? We'll have to see whether he's going to look at that. But a battle on for the lead. Chris Smiley round the outside there, side by side with Tim Slay. They're door handling each other. Smiley gets a bit of a wobble on as they go down into Scotsman. Vic Covey is unfazed with that, grabs the racing line, and as a result gets a little bit more momentum and tags himself on the back of Smiley to join this duo battling for the lead on lap 2 here at Knockhill. It's David Slay up into 4th, and here's the Slay ride down into Carluke corner. We're watching the lead trio ahead of us. You can barely see the lead car. And down the inside, Chris Smiley's going through. Bash into Tim Slay, side by side they go. And has he done it? Yes, he has. The Ulsterman's through into the lead. Incredible stuff. And really, you've got to say, this is touring car racing, isn't it? Really, the way they were paddle bashing. And Chris Smiley, the difference between this and touring cars is these cars have parity. They're all level. So Tim Slay in second position. Then third place, Vic Covey. David Slay around the outside. Then it's Adam Leach being followed by James Bruce. James Bruce had an incredible run, hasn't he? That is so good to see. Following them, it's Alan Walk. So we've got new drivers coming to the fore. This is going to buoy them for next year. 2012 is going to be great, isn't it? Can't wait already. We haven't even finished the 2011 season as they come down into Dufferstiff again. Tim Slade now getting defensive from Vic Covey Jr. The pole man finds himself in second place and under threat from the two championship contenders. David Slade, the second of those, the red number 3 car. Ahead of him, it's Vic Covey Jr. at the moment. Covey running in third place, which is going to be 8 points. David Slade fourth, which will be 7. Extra point for fastest lap. So at the moment, Vic Covey Jr. only putting 1 point back. He's going to be a 19-point advantage going into race 2. And there are only 26 points available from the 2 races, so David Slade's probably thinking in his head now that he'll get it wrapped up in the second race of the day. Things stay as they are, but knowing David, he'll want to go for the race win. This is the scrap for second place. Tim Slade keeping it defensive and maybe mindful about the situation involving his brother. He'll want to, I guess, try and help his brother if he can, and he's doing that at the moment by holding up Vic Covey Jr., so Covey might have to get a little bit forceful to be able to get through and into lead position. But Chris Smiley away down the road at the moment under the Beatsons Bridge. Hamish Brandon showing on the lap charts as having rejoined, so he hopefully will be able to make a little bit of progress after inadvertently being taken out. Down through Dufferstiff they go into Scotsman Corner. The race leader still Tim Slade in second, got a bit of breathing space over Covey at the moment. Then it's Alan Walk in 6th position. So not quite sure what's happened to James Bruce, but he seems to have slipped down the order as off goes Tom Denham. Now, did he jump or was he pushed? Bit of mess from the tyre wall, but I'm sure Tom's he's shown great pace, Tom, in his first few race meetings, and he rejoins, thankfully. So Tom Denham back out on circuit, and we'll try and pick up a few newcomers' championship points on a recovery drive, but Chris Smiley still leading. Tim Slade in second place, third place Vic Covey, fourth place David Slade, Alan Walk, safety car being scrambled, so we've got a car off the circuit. I don't think that was for Tom Denham's car because we saw him rejoin the circuit, but in the interest of saying, it might be to do with tyres, of course, rolling around. We saw a few of those at the hairpin at the end of lap 1, and more tyres on circuit. And if you look at the back of shot there, you can see Hamish Brandon just nipping through to overtake Elaine Marshall. Elaine running just outside the reaches of the top 10 at the moment. So safety car scrambled, gives everybody a few moments to collect their thoughts, but this is going to be disappointing for Chris Smiley, who's got the fastest lap of the race so far, 68.534, and Chris of course was starting to build a lead, but all that gets negated with the safety car coming out, and it means that Tim Slade and Vic Covey Jr. will have the opportunity to engage him in battle again, unless Chris Smiley can handle the start right and get away again. So around real radio, pace car pulls onto the tri-oval section, and they won't be able to race until they get up to the line. Pit signals going out to tell everybody where they are. And here we go, we're racing again here at Knockhill with Chris Smiley. It was a good start from Smiley, and I think Tim Slade is a little bit too far back to challenge. Covey is closer to Slade than Slade is to Smiley. David Slade back in 4th place, down through Dufferstiff they go. Still Adam Leach in 5th position, Alan Walk in 6th place at the moment, and it was a good clean restart by absolutely everybody. Kenny McLeod is there in white and gold in 7th place. So Kenny running well, of course, in the Newcomers Championship, not too far away from Alan Walk, and down behind him it's Murray Muir, who's having a good go, but we're looking at the scrap for 3rd place. It's absolutely imperative for Covey that he tries to get past Tim Slade, and that's what he's trying to do now. Looking at the inside line, it was going to be a bit of a squeeze, but Covey manages to get enough momentum out of Carluve, runs side by side with Tim Slade. This is the battle for 2nd position, and we're looking for the championship leader, David Slade. Surely Covey's got the line here, turns into the hairpin, he's through. Vic Covey into 2nd position. David Slade back in 3rd. That's going to be a drop of 3 points now for David Slade. So Vic Covey is fighting hard and doing all he can to keep the championship alive. Tim Slade across the line in lead position. Vic Covey now up to 2nd. Tim Slade in 3rd. And off the circuit goes Louise Flitton in the black 18 car. Louise recovers. Good quick recovery from Louise. Hope she comes back for another year, because she could well be vying for championship honours. You saw in the background as well, just earlier on in the shot, Guy Johnston. I think that's possibly why the safety car was out. Guy's car off in the background as we look at Vic Covey Jr. still in 2nd position. from Tim Snay. Now lap time's going to be crucial here. There's no one at the moment to match Chris Smiley. 68.534 is best time. Vic Covey Jr. 68.841. But keep your eyes on Alan Walk, because there he is going through shot now. Alan in 6th position, and his times are in the 68s as well. 68.819 for Alan Walk. He's the 3rd quickest man on the circuit, and that's great to see. He hasn't done the whole season, but he does an awful lot in the paddock to get people out on circuit, promote the championship. And there he is in 6th position, trying to close down on the man who won last time out, Adam Leach. There's Adam going through shot, Alan Walk behind him, and now we go on board with Alan Walk, climbing up the hill through the grid lines. Is he going to make a challenge? We've seen he's got the pace from the timing sheets. Looks to the outside line as they come up over the brow. Don't think that's going to work for him. Now switches back to the inside line. Alan Walk trying all he can, but Danny's through. He's made it. Alan Walk, brilliant manoeuvre, pulled out of the slipstream, down into Duffus, up into 5th place. Now can he catch David Slay ahead of him? I guess more importantly at the moment, can he hang on? He looks very cool, calm and collected in the driving seat, and that's why he's putting in some good lap times. Through the chicane he goes, up into 5th position then for Alan Walk.
With so much racing going on in the world, you'd have to be a four-headed monster to keep up with it all. Luckily, we have that. Join Peter Keane, Bill Wood, Errol Tucker, and their guest driver analyst each week for an opinionated look at the news coming out of the racing world. Remember, it's GoRacingTV.com for all your racing and video needs.
Still up front, Chris Smiley. We're looking at the red machine of David Slay, starting to challenge his brother Tim. Now, if Tim was thinking about family honours in terms of championship, he might let David through. I don't know whether he will. I suppose he's not going to wave him through. Here come the race leaders down towards the hairpin once again. And as we look back, lights on from Adam Leach in 6th position. Alan Walk ahead of him in 5th. David Slay starting to put the pressure on Tim Slay as they come out of the hairpin. Now, is that the last lap board being ready? Yes, it is. So, goodness me, 7 laps done, 1 lap to go, and up across the line goes Chris Smiley, who could well be heading for his 7th win of the season. It's going to be difficult for anybody to match that. There's Hamish Brandon ahead of Guy Johnston and Elaine Marshall. They're running in 10th, 11th, 12th position at the moment, but Chris Smiley onto his last lap, clear of Vic Covey Jr., 2 seconds clear as they went across the line for the penultimate time, and Smiley's driven absolutely superbly. Vic Covey gets a little bit sideways. He's still fighting the number 7 car and trying to close in on the man from Northern Ireland. It's been a terrific season for Chris Smiley, and you've got to say might have been a potential championship winner, but for the fact he had a DNF in race 1 of the season and a disqualification, sadly, from race 7 of the championship. Vic Covey Jr. had a DNF as well. There are no drop scores in this championship, and that certainly didn't help Vic. David and Tim Slay, the men with no DNFs, but this is far from a DNF. It's a race win, the 7th of the season. Chris Smiley, lights on, and he takes the checkered flag. Vic Covey 2nd, Tim Slay's going to be 3rd, and Alan Walk's come through. Well, we missed that earlier on in the lap. Alan Walk comes through for 4th position. David Slay 5th from Adam Leach. Kenny McLeod is 7th from Murray Muir. James Bruce, Hamish Brandon there. Then Danny Dreelan and Elaine Marshall going through. Mikey Falconer is going to be next across the line ahead of Fiona Wallace. There's Fiona, the ladies champion in 17, beaten in the ladies class this time. Scott McKenzie, Louise Flitton, Steph McMurdo crosses the line. But let's take a look at confirmation. Smiley the winner from Covey, Tim Slay 3rd, Alan Walk up into 4th place, David Slay 5th from Adam Leach. Then it was Kenny McLeod ahead of Murray Muir and James Bruce. Hamish Brandon recovers into the top 10 from Danny Dreelan. Good drive from Danny from the back of the field. Elaine Marshall next from Mikey Falconer. Then Fiona Wallace, Scott McKenzie and Louise Flitton. Steph McMurdo 17th ahead of Emma Bruce, and the 19 finishers completed by Tom Denham.
Now I'm here with the winners from the Scottish Mini Cooper Cup there, and Chris, well done. Congratulations on a win there.
Yeah, we showed pace all weekend in the rain, and we just sort of qualifying this morning. We got messed up on our fastest lap, and we just sort of got to show a real pace there now. So we did. So didn't get that great of a start. Got past him up in the car sport, and from there on, the safety car came out at about lap 6, I think it was, and it sort of closed everybody. I was sort of a bit worried, but seemed to got away okay, and it was not too bad. Just need the points now.
Yeah, you must have thought they were catching in on you real quick with that safety car, all squashing things up again.
Oh, I don't know how many seconds of a lap or gap I had, but just all of a sudden everybody was back on me again, and I just need to make sure I got away good off the safety car. So thankfully I did.
Well, you held on to the win, so congratulations for that one. Good luck for the next one.
Thank you.
Thank you. And Vic, second place there. That keeps your championship hopes alive a wee bit.
Yeah, just a wee bit. The tiniest of wee threads. Could do with Tim taking his brother out again. That'd be really helpful in the next race, but I don't see that happening. No, cracking race. I've got to say thank you. I mean, this more than likely be the last weekend I'm out in the Scottish Minis after a long time of doing it. So a big thank you to all the guys that backed me. With Caledonian Colour Printers, I've been there since day one and helped me get off the ground. And Pallet Force, Shepherd Chartered Surveyors, and my dad as well. Just all there helping out, and it should be good for the last.
Well, you'll certainly be missed because the Scottish Minis, we haven't had Scottish Minis without Vic over Junior.
Hey, but there'll always be someone else to take my place. I'm sure the two brothers, Tim and David, will give us some entertainment next year when I come up and watch.
I'm sure they will. Congratulations on second, and hopefully, you never know, the championship might still be yours.
You never know at Knockhill, do you? Thanks a lot, Sasha.
Thank you. And Tim, third place there.
Yeah, third place. It's not first place. It's always it's never good, isn't it? Start from the front and sort of going back, but just still try to put it together with the wet. The fantastic qualifying pole position. It's my best in the mini championship ever, and to do it in the wet was great. But just yesterday's testing certainly helped me out with that. But just didn't quite have the sort of pace in the race there as well. I was just trying to play the canny game and sort of keep the guys behind me. Chris got in front of me. I wasn't too concerned. I could have really lived without making that mistake at Clark's and letting Vic pass me as well. But so there's opening the doors for sort of like more points challenge later on.
Was there a wee bit of looking in the mirrors and trying to help your brother out? Maybe a wee bit?
Not really, no. I mean, looking in the mirrors to make sure I wasn't going to make a lunge at me and take some more points off me. But just having a wee look and sort of see what's going on. I think actually earlier on in the race, I pretty much drove in the mirrors, which is not something I usually do, you know.
Maybe that's where it went wrong?
I think so. I played it too safe, you know, and sort of left it open a wee bit. Chris came up the inside of me and sort of Clark's sort of nudged me off as he sort of coming through. And then later again I made a mistake at Clark's again, and Vic was up through the inside of me, and that was it.
Well, we'll better look out for you getting back on top 4 for the next one.
Well, I hope so. Thanks very much.
And what a stonking drive from you in race 1.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I'm really pleased with it, yeah.
You must be feeling absolutely at one with the car going out there. It just looked like you were working hard.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've got a bit of an advantage in the wet. Can go well in the wet, and there was a couple of doors left open, so there's no point in ignoring them.
No, you certainly made the most of them.
Yeah.
And obviously you were battling there with David right to the very end.
Yes. He tried to come back at me with the hairpin, but it was a choice of taking a narrow line and losing traction, or taking the wide line, keeping the traction. He tried to get me inside, but I held on to it. So.
And what's your tactic for race 2?
Stay out of the way. Because David obviously has got a championship to win. He's behind me. He's going to want through. I want to finish the race. So give it my best, but I'm not going to get in the way.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you. David, we're not used to seeing you quite as far back as this. What's going on?
Just unfortunate there, just not making the places that I need to get there. Poor qualifying earlier in the day.
Was there a problem with the car?
Nah, not really. I mean, it was red flagged halfway through the session, just when I felt I was starting to get into a rhythm there. But you know, there's other people who are in the same situation, so there's no real excuses there. But I don't know, just didn't get the qualifying pace I wanted.
Are you feeling just a wee bit of pressure thinking about the championship? Or?
Nah, not really. You know, I'm trying to kind of not think about it. I've got a reasonable lead there, so there's no point in kind of like trying to pressurise myself and worry about that. Obviously, I need to just try and play it cool here and not doing stupid, you know. So we'll see how that one works out.
Well, if it all works out, it will be a very good day for Team Slay.
It could be a very good day for Team Slay, and I just want to congratulate Ross and Malloy there in winning the championship for us with the Fiesta as well. That was an awesome result, and fingers crossed maybe we can get Tim into third place as well.
Well, good luck.
Thanks very much. Cheers.
Well, that's us ready for race 2. Richard, over to you.
Thanks, Sasha. Here is the grid then for our second race of 3 here at Knockhill. And pole position goes to race 1 winner Chris Smiley with Vic Covey Jr. alongside. Tim Slay and Alan Walk on the second row, then David Slay and Adam Leach on row 3. Fourth row, Kenny McLeod and Murray Muir. Then it's James Bruce and Hamish Brandon. Danny Dreelan, ladies' pole winner was Elaine Marshall. She won the ladies' race in race 1. Back in 13th position on the grid, it's Mikey Falconer ahead of Fiona Wallace. Then Scott McKenzie and Louise Flitton. Steph McMurdo 17th and Emma Bruce in 18th place. The grid being completed by Tom Denham and Guy Johnston. 16 points separating David Slay and Vic Covey Jr. There will only be 13 points remaining after this race, so it's absolutely imperative that Vic Covey Jr. starts to close in. As we look at briefly at the 25 car of Emma Bruce, number 5 Scott McKenzie and 18 Louise Flitton. Guy Johnston, sadly a non-starter in this one. The blue car absent from the back of the grid. I think picked up a little bit too much damage in his off in race 1, so 19 starters for this one. That's Tom Denham at the back in white, and we're getting ready. Let's see whether Vic Covey can get a better start this time. He's always been working hard at his starts, but it does seem to be his Achilles heel. Chris Smiley from pole position will be looking for win number 8 of the championship. It looks like he gets away well. Tim Slay as well. Circuit a little bit drier. Covey slots into second place. Tim Slay, then it's Alan Walk ahead of David Slay. Adam Leach is there. Murray Muir in the mix as well as they come down. A problem there, spinning is Murray Muir. Hamish Brandon's on the grass, several other cars going on the grass in avoidance, and Murray rejoins, so we're throwing away an 8th position start there, but the leaders have got away cleanly, and it's Tim Slay in 3rd position, then Alan Walk in 4th place ahead of David Slay. So at the moment, if things stay the way they are, it's pretty much as they finished in the last race. We've got Vic Covey 2nd, so it's going to be 10 points to 6, another 4 points potentially here for Vic Covey Jr. in 3rd place, which is going to take it down, the gap down to 12, and that means that if Vic Covey Jr. wins the last race, then he could still be champion. But down the inside, look at that, or around the outside I should say, is Kenny McLeod having a good go. So Kenny McLeod gets it all sideways, and he was having a good go at David Slay there. On board with Kenny McLeod. There's Adam Leach on the inside. David Slay ahead of us. He's trying to go through and past Alan Walk. Difficult visibility here. Quick splash on the windscreen to try and clear the muck off there as they come down into Duffer's Dip. Little look down the inside, but not quite room there on Adam Leach. Remember, Leach a race winner already. That was going to certainly bolster his confidence, and he'll be looking for another race win now, hoping to join, I guess, the overall winners next season if he can come back, and it'll be great to see him back in the championship. But Kenny McLeod giving us a good little run there. Down behind him, it's Elaine Marshall running well, the white and yellow car. Great to see Elaine having a good run. The car in front of her, the 23 machine of James Bruce. James having something of a recovery. James, the light blue car with the red stripes, down on the inside now, and is he going to be able to squeeze past Kenny McLeod there side by side there, and James Bruce putting Kenny off onto the gravel. Kenny won't be best pleased about that. Forceful driving then from James Bruce, who's now up behind Adam Leach. Round the outside goes Elaine Marshall, who really is getting to grips with this. Elaine Marshall, if she comes back next year, it's going to be very difficult to speak for the Ladies' Championship. You've got to say that. Let's hope that we can attract quite a few female drivers in, because this is a great place to come in and learn your craft.
The club, an amateur racer. Here at GoRacingTV, we salute you. And we want to give you all the tools and info to compete with the best. Find out how to do it all from your own garage by watching our Club Racer and Autocrosser shows. GoRacingTV.com, supplying all your video racing needs.
Good stuff then from James Bruce, who's starting to work his way through the field, chasing Adam Leach at the moment. David Slay ahead, has now got ahead of Alan Walk, as you can see, their 14 car going through, and then the 15 machine of Adam Leach, Tim Slay and Chris Smiley with Vic Covey Jr. still out front. Vic Covey Jr. looking like he's going to challenge for the lead. Well, I think we're going to miss that, but it was down into the hairpin. That's absolutely crucial for the championship. Well, quite rightly, having a look at some of the runners we don't normally see. And James Bruce having a good look at Adam Leach here. James Bruce will know that he's dicing with a former race winner now. As we go back to that, it's Vic Covey in the lead. Covey leads. Chris Smiley into second position. Under the Beatson's Bridge they go. Vic Covey Jr. This is exactly what he needs to do, and now he needs to try and get a fastest lap, does Vic Covey Jr., to get an extra point. So where is David Slay? Well, we can't see him in shot at the moment, and Covey throws it into the corner. Sideways Covey comes back on track, just a glance across Chris Smiley, who retakes the lead, and Tim Slay comes through as well. A little bit of contact with Vic Covey Jr. as they go through John Arweir, and Covey from first position. All the hard work is undone. He's down to third place. Third place is 8 points. Down behind him in fourth position is David Slay, the championship leader. So points-wise, that's only going to be 15 points. It's going to be game over if things stay the way they are at the moment. Now here comes Vic Covey Jr. again, up into second position, round the outside. This is determined driving, right the way around the outside of the newcomers champion, Tim Slay. And I don't think Covey's going to get it done there. Gets squeezed out onto the gravel. Covey's not going to be too happy about that, I don't think. Tim Slay then using all the track, and he's now chasing after Chris Smiley, who is still out front on this one. Goodness me, this is absolutely nail-biting stuff. The championship is at stake here. Covey not looking particularly happy with his car at the moment, throws it down into Duffus. He's got the champion-elect behind him, David Slay. David Slay's going to try and pass him, and that will send a very clear message to Vic Covey Jr. if he can get past. And I'm wondering whether the contact that Covey's had has affected his car. Bear in mind that he was in the lead and he was up with these two guys, so that contact may have affected him. But he's in third place at the moment, and the championship leader right behind him. David Slay, fourth position. And at the moment, as I say, if things stay the way they are, David Slay will wrap up the championship in this race. Covey's still fighting though in that third position. That will be 8 points for him. David Slay looking, well, not around the outside here, but a wider line. That may give him a better run up the hill. That's maybe what he's playing at. We go on board with David. Sideways moment there from Covey. Tap, I think, possibly in the back, inadvertent there from David Slay. Drops back just a little bit, so that wide line in didn't quite work. He didn't get the room to have the run. So under the Beatson's Bridge we go, and David Slay still there in fourth position. This is the battle for the championship, although Slay will know if things stay the way they are, he's there. Fastest lap of the race is Slay, but it's Tim Slay who's got the fastest lap, 64.62 seconds. Much. Covey goes off again on the dirt. Covey on the dirt, but rejoins in front of David Slay. Slay must be getting frustrated now. Covey trying everything he can. I think his car's off song. It's got to be, because he's not keeping pace with the leaders. We're used to seeing that. The cork-up machine struggling at the moment. So Covey still second in the championship, third in the race. Slay and Smiley away at the front. Through goes about. James Bruce is closing up as well. Look at that, James Bruce making progress. He's now past Adam Leach, and ahead of him is Alan Walker, who needs to get past, but we're focusing on the battle for third place. Slay again. Look at that, this isn't race tactic, this is speed tactic. Wide line in, and he's going to be hoping for a better run out of the corner. I thought he was going to sweep to the inside line, and he can't do it at the moment. That's the view that he's got, and he won't be worried about that, because Slay, as we've said, family run team, looks like he's going to add the Scottish Mini Cooper Cup to the XR2 title that he won. His brothers won as well, down through the still wet patch there, and down on the inside he's going for third place. He's trying for third position, looks up the inside, the Scotsman didn't work for him. Now up in towards the chicane, over the bumps they go. Covey still driving defensively in third position, and well, that's what a racing driver's going to do. He wants to hang on to that at all costs. Now down the inside goes Slay, bang into him. They make contact. Covey and Slay make contact. Goodness me, this is bang again, and Slay gets forced onto the grass. Well, and he's off. He's out into retirement, and he's been put out by the man challenging for the championship. This is incredible stuff here in race 2. Now Vic Covey, look at the battle scarred car of Vic Covey. Alan walks all over him now and trying to challenge for position. Then we've got James Bruce in the mix, Adam Leach there as well, and David Slay. Well, that one is definitely, as the cars go on the last lap, going to go to the stewards' room for sure. The stewards will want to see the footage of that, and there might be a penalty here because David Slay's lost out. and Vic Covey through the contact, you've got to say, has gained an advantage. Whether it was malicious or just focusing on the road remains to be seen. I'm sure the guys will sort it out in the paddock, and the officials will as well. And look at that, James Bruce has passed Walk. James Bruce passed Alan Walk, and now Adam Leach is coming up as well. This is a cracking race. James Bruce on for 4th place here. Look at the lead though. Tim Slay still all over the back of race long leader Chris Smiley. So, well, at least one of the Slay family's having a better run here. I can tell you that David Slay has rejoined, but he's out of the points. He's down in 12th position. And if there's no judicial, the championship will go to the last round, the last race of the year, as Tim Slay looks around the outside line. That's what his brother's been doing all race, and goes for the cutback. Look at that, a cheeky cutback. Chris Smiley comes back, but surely Smiley's going to hang on to it, up towards the checkered flag, side by side, and Tim Slay's got it. Slay takes the win from Chris Smiley. 3rd place is Vic Covey Jr., James Bruce, Alan Walk, Adam Leach, there's Kenny McLeod, who comes home in 7th from Elaine Marshall. Then it's Hamish Brandon, Murray Muir follows him. Then it's going to be let's see, Danny Dreelan, followed by David Slay down in 12th position. Scott McKenzie's going to be next. Wow, what a race that was. Absolutely incredible stuff. Mikey Falconer and Fiona Wallace across the line. Then it's going to be Emma Bruce, Louise Flitton, Tom Denham and Steph McMurdo down in 19th place. Well, all of the cars that started the race finished it. Here comes Steph across the line to take the checkered flag. Well, I can tell you that post-race Vic Covey Jr. got a 10-second penalty for driving standards. That dropped him down to 10th position, and it's the championship is secured for David Slay. Congratulations to David, and congratulations to his brother Tim on the race win on the line from Chris Smiley, James Bruce, Alan Walk, Adam Leach and Kenny McLeod. Elaine Marshall in 7th, a great result for her, from Hamish Brandon, Murray Muir. Vic Covey down in 10th, Danny Dreelan next from David Slay, then Scott McKenzie, Mikey Falconer, Fiona Wallace and Emma Bruce, Louise Flitton in 17th, Tom Denham 18th, Steph McMurdo in 19th, and Tim Slay also getting the fastest lap, but David Slay the new champion.
Well done, congratulations, fantastic win there. I kind of had a feeling you were going to be determined to get that win.
Well, I'm always determined to get the win, I suppose. It just proves to be a bit more difficult for me in the wet for some reason. I think, I got dealt a couple of sort of crippling blows sort of earlier on. I was getting sort of banged about a wee bit. Dropped back, Chris Smiley managed to sort of get away and he had a decent lead, and I was just thinking, all I've got to do is just get my head down and just plug away at these laps and just try and sort of reel them in, which is what I did. And I had a couple of chances sort of getting close. I thought it was on the last lap, is this really going to happen, eh? I just managed to get a good run out of Clark. She came over the inside, defended pretty well, ran really deep on the entrance into the chicane, in the hairpin, and just managed to switch it back, cut over the curb and got up the inside. I think it was like
I believe it was 28 hundredths.
There we go, there, 28 hundredths of a second, but you only need to go fast enough to win. So that was it, I won, and I'm absolutely over the moon with it. It's good.
No, congratulations. I do believe you've drawn 8 cars to be reverse grid for the final race.
That's right, reverse grid 8, so that's going to be quite interesting, yep.
Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Chris, congratulations there on 2nd place, but you must have thought you were going to get that win.
I know, I defended the whole last lap, and he just got me in the cutback out of the hairpin there. But we're struggling for a bit of speed in the dry there. Hopefully if I get that sorted out for the 3rd race, maybe try and get a few more points back.
Well, I think you're going to be starting from 7th, aren't you?
7th, yeah. Just be interested trying to get through some of the slower cars, but just hope for the best and see how we get on.
Good luck.
Thanks you.
Thank you. Elaine, check you out in pole position.
I know, it's a bit scary up here. It's a bit scary.
Well, you're soon going to find out how scary it actually is.
I know, I'm just going to keep going and let them get past me. I'm not doing anything different from what I do in any other race, but it's a bit
obviously you're really comfortable with the car now. You're getting better and better results all the time. Yeah. What's your plan for next year?
Run with David at Tyneside Garage.
So you're going to do the minis again?
Definitely. He's made such a difference, this car. It's like 90. It's a great car now.
Well, you've got pole position.
I know. Fingers crossed.
Good luck.
Thank you very much.
The 24th and final race of the year for the Celtic Speed Scottish Mini Cooper Cup. Hamish Brandon draws pole in this reverse grid race. Elaine Marshall alongside. Then it's Kenny McLeod and Adam Leach, Alan Walk and James Bruce on the 3rd row of the grid. Row 4, Chris Smiley with Tim Slay next to him. Then it's Murray Muir and championship runner-up Vic Covey Jr. Danny Dreelan 11th and new champion David Slay in position 12. 13th on the grid goes to Scott McKenzie. Then it's Mikey Falconer. Fiona Wallace lines up next to Emma Bruce. That's the 8th row of the grid. Row 9, Louise Flitton and Tom Denham. The grid being completed by Steph McMurdo and Guy Johnston.
That's them all in place. Here we go for the final race of the season for the Celtic Speed Scottish Mini Cooper Cup. On they go.
Well, Guy Johnston's car repair's not completed time, so he doesn't join us, but we've got 19 cars for this one with Hamish Brandon on pole position. Will we get another first time winner? Hamish gets away well. Not such a great start, you've got to say, from Elaine Marshall, but nerve-wracking times for her. But Hamish Brandon it is that leads them down into Duffers Dip. Up into second place goes Kenny McLeod. McLeod up into second place, but look at Alan Walk fighting his way through up into third. Walks through into third. Adam Leach fourth. Then it's Tim Slay. Tim Slay, the first of the big four, if you could call it that, and around goes Kenny McLeod. Thank goodness he's out of the way. That could have been big damage there, but Kenny McLeod's out of it. I think he's going to pull it up into retirement there. The number 6 car, disappointment for him, but Hamish Brandon leading. Alan Walk now into second position from Adam Leach. Then it's Tim Slay, Chris Smiley. Chris Smiley followed by Elaine Marshall. Look back down the grid, James Bruce and Vic Covey Jr. trying to work their way through the grid as well. James Bruce normally would have expected on a reverse grid for him to be higher up, but he had a superb result in the second race.
Hi there, I'm Tom Natcher, and this is Greg Kramer. We're called the old bastards of racing in many circles. You know, I guess we met back in the late 1980s.
Easy. It had to be at least that far back. Glory day of some racing, too.
Oh, absolutely. Trans Am was a part of the picture, and actually I learned to do pro announcing from this man around the Trans Am Championship. Oh, that is a long time ago.
A very long time ago, but I'll tell you what, you take a look at Trans Am racing in the early 90s in particular, the names that were running at that time. But the other side of the story was World Challenge was really starting to come alive at that point. And the names in that, there were sometimes you'd look at the two rosters and go, you know, I'm not sure which one is the most talent. Some amazing stuff from those decades past. And of course, a lot of those drivers also doubling up, running amateur racing in the runoffs. And it was spectacular stuff.
Now, GoRacingTV has got all of that action, Trans Am World Challenge, and even some runoff material, all coming up over the next season. That's going to be something to watch.
I know, to be able to relive those 2 decades of motorsports from the Sports Car Club of America's Pro Racing Department, Trans Am World Challenge, and then you include the National Amateur Championships, the runoff, the intense battles that unfolded there. It simply doesn't get any better than that, and it lives again right here on GoRacingTV.com.
Because I need to spend more time in front of my computer.
Chris Smiley. I don't think there's quite room there, Chris, to go through, but give him half a gap and he'll try and squeeze through. There's more of a gap as they come down into Duffers, and is the Osterman going to go for it? Looks for it, breaks on from the car in front, but Chris Smiley can't quite do it. He's going to have to wait for another corner to have a go here. He's too far back to challenge at Scotsman. Wide line in, nips the apex as you'd expect. Now up towards the blind brow, which is of course the John R. Weir chicane. Out of that they go. Still out front is Hamish Brandon in lead position. Nerves will be jangling from Hamish. He's had a few front row starts, and again, and look at that! What a great move by Chris Smiley. Slices his way down the inside. Absolutely superb stuff from Chris Smiley. Well, that is a championship winning type move. There's so many places you can pass here, and that was move of the day for my money. That was absolutely superb. What a pleasure to be on board with him when he took that manoeuvre. It's still Alan Walk in second position, Tim Slay in third, Hamish Brandon leads. Chris Smiley now into fourth position and wants to get a move on to grab another win. He knows that he's got the most race wins out of anybody in the championship, 7 wins for Smiley, and of course he'd love to take win number 8 because that would make a major statement to the rest of the field. Down Duffers Dip they go, Brandon still leading, Alan Walk in second position, Tim Slay in fourth, and Walk's having a go for the lead, looks down the inside, door half open there, and he wasn't sure whether to go for it or not. He's keeping an eye on his mirror as well because he's got Tim Slay behind him. Adam Leach still running in 5th position. What a cracking race this is turning out to be. And Hamish Brandon soaking up the pressure at the moment. Oh, wide moment there from Tim Slay. In third position, goes very wide. He's got to be mindful of Chris Smiley behind him. But Alan Walk's looking really good here. Alan Walk started 5th on the grid. He's got up to 2nd position. So although this is a reverse grid race, he didn't really benefit from that because he started back on the 3rd row, and he's coming down the outside lane. Brandon under pressure. Hamish Brandon on the inside, the man from Hoyk. And look at that. And Alan Walk trying everything he can to go on the outside line. That was a very David Slay line, wasn't it? You've got to say that was a championship type line. And look at that, extra speed now up the hill. He draws level with Hamish Brandon. They're side by side. And is Alan Walk going to have the line as they go down into Duffus? Hamish is trying to hang on the outside line, but here comes Alan Walk, and he's got his nose in front. He's through. Alan Walk leads the 24th race in the Scottish Mini Cooper Cup. He's got ahead of Hamish Brandon. The poleman cedes the lead. A little bit of a tap on the back there. Was it, or a wobble? No, it wasn't. It was just a wobble from, and look at this, Tim Slay trying to go through. Chris Smiley all over the back of him as well. And I think that's punished Hamish Brandon, who now I think finds himself down in 4th position. The adrenaline from Brandon, he's got to carry on and try and hang on to it. But it's Alan Walk leading from Tim Slay with Chris Smiley in 3rd place. And we'll get a look and see how the other front runners are working their way through the pack in just a moment. But at the moment, Chris Smiley is desperately trying to get on terms with Tim Slay, 3rd. This is the squabble, remember, for 3rd in the championship. I've almost forgotten about that going forward. But after the 2nd race of the weekend, they're actually tied on points, 214 points apiece. So this is very much for 3rd in the championship. So incredibly close between those two, and apologies lads for not mentioning that before. There's the pair battling for it, number 4 and number 22 battling for 3rd place in the championship. Whoever comes out on top is going to get the spoils of victory. At the moment, Tim Slay the fastest man on track, and Chris Smiley, it's all got pear-shaped for him because Adam Leach comes through. David Slay's up behind him as well. Well, he was down behind Tim Slay. Tim Slay the fastest man on track. Alan Walk running well, still in lead position. This is great stuff from Alan Walk. Beg your pardon, Tim Slay was fastest lap last. It's David Slay fastest lap on this one, 64.2. Through goes Tim Slay. Vic Covey Jr. a little bit further back at the moment, knows that his work's done really. There can't be too much more motivation for Covey in this one as we look at David Slay and Chris Smiley fighting out. Slay the fastest man, David Slay the fastest man in the race. The Athena car running very well indeed, and up the inside, so Chris Smiley back past Adam Leach, then David Slay looking up the inside. Driving standards flag going out to, can't quite see which number that was going out to. Might have been number 4, but anyway, stand to be corrected. Tim Slay, who is out front. Here we come, then David Slay down the inside of Chris Smiley, and still leading this one is Alan Walk. Alan Walk in the 64s as well in terms of lap times. Smiley up the inside of Adam Leach. Down behind them it's James Bruce having a very good run. James Bruce, maybe another potential champion, future champion in James Bruce. Really come on leaps and bounds this weekend. It's absolutely superb to see. Vic Covey Jr. down behind him as David Slay continues on his way. Still Alan Walk out front with Tim Slay not too far behind. David Slay in 3rd place. There goes Covey Jr. through. Closing stages of this year's Celtic Speed Mini Cooper Cup. What a fantastic year. A massive thanks to Celtic Speed for their support this year, and everyone that's been involved in the championship. We've had some superb racing, but there are a lot of people that work behind the scenes, as well as the drivers, the teams, the families that are there to support as well. And on to the last lap of the season goes Alan Walk. Are we going to see a first-time winner? Tim Slay wants to grab another win for sure. He's had 5 wins so far this year, and he wants number 6, but Alan Walk wants win number 1. This is going to be mega if Alan Walk can win it. Tim Slay behind him. We always love to see a first-time winner. And Tim Slay is hunting him down. He's closing in as they come out of the chicane. Oh, sorry, into the chicane, getting ahead of himself there, out of John Alweir, and Tim Slay is putting the pressure on big time here in 2nd position. David Slay still in 3rd place. Chris Smiley in 4th, Adam Leach and James Bruce down behind them, rounding off the top 6 at the moment. But onto the last lap, well into the last lap, through Hislops for the last time they go. And it's still Alan Walk now. What can Tim Slay do? Is he going to look to the outside line? This is what his brother's been doing all all race long, or all meeting long. Wide line in, but Alan Walk's wise to that. He gets the extra run as well. That'll give him the momentum up the hill. And Alan Walk emerges from the hairpin, and he's going to take her first win. Many congratulations to Alan Walk from Tim Slay. Walk wins it. Tim Slay second. David Slay third from Chris Smiley. Then it's Adam Leach just ahead of James Bruce. Vic Covey Jr. championship runner-up in seventh. Hamish Brandon 8th place ahead of Elaine Marshall. Good effort from the front row runners. There's Murray Muir. Danny Dreelan 11th. Up across the line in 12th position, Scott McKenzie, then Tom Denham, Louise Flitton in 14th place. Here comes Emma Bruce. Emma's in 15th position, and that just leaves Steph McMurdo and Fiona Wallace to come across the line. There is Steph. Fiona, of course, recovering from her moment off the circuit earlier on, but she will have enjoyed her season as the 2011 Celtic Speed Scottish Mini Cooper Cup Ladies Champion, and there is the checkered flag for Fiona. Superb effort. So the 24th race of the season, and our first time winner of the 2011 season, Alan Walk in the 14 car, just getting the better of Tim Slay. Alan absolutely thrilled with that, and rightly so. Congratulations to Alan. Tim Slay in second position. He takes third in the championship, and third in the race goes to the new champion David Slay. Then Chris Smiley and Adam Leach. James Bruce in 6th place. Vic Covey Jr. in 7th from Hamish Brandon. Then Elaine Marshall winning the ladies class again. Murray Muir 10th from Danny Dreelan. Scott McKenzie in 12th place. 13th was Tom Denham, and then Louise Flitton, followed by Emma Bruce. Steph McMurdo 16th, and Fiona Wallace in 17th. Championship, well, David Slay, congratulations to the new champion. Vic Covey Jr. second, and Tim Slay in third, ahead of Chris Smiley, who gets the most race wins. Adam Leach 5th, and Hamish Brandon 6th in the table. Tim Slay, the newcomers champion from Adam Leach and Murray Muir, with Kyle Reid 4th, ahead of Mikey Falconer and Steve Clark. And confirmation of the points in the Ladies' Cup. Fiona Wallace, the ladies' champion from Emma Bruce and Elaine Marshall. Steph McMurdo in 4th from Louise Flitton, and Gemma Dreelan in 6th.
David, congratulations, 2011 Scottish Mini Cooper Cup champion. How does that sound?
Sounds brilliant. Thank God. I've been fighting the whole year to get this position, so delighted that, you know, finally I can say that I'm the champion. Thank God for that.
Absolutely, and your face was tripping you after race 2. You just didn't look like a happy man. It's all come together for you at the end.
Not at all. I mean, obviously I kind of made a decision there, and you know, retrospectively I maybe shouldn't have made that. I didn't think the thing was going to happen the way it did work out there, but you know, these things happen now and again. You know, it's just good that in race 3, like I know that in finishing position I'm in at the moment, it wouldn't have mattered anyway, whatever happened in race 2.
And at least you finished on the podium as well, though. That's a nice wee sweetener, isn't it?
Well, it's funny, you know, I was starting to think for a minute there, you know, win the championship and actually not even get a podium finish for the whole weekend. I thought that was going to be pretty tough.
Well, you got there. Congratulations.
Oh, thanks very much for that. Look, can I just take an opportunity as well just to thank my sponsors. You know, everyone's been great. They've really helped out hugely. Athena Asset Management, Capital Solutions, Scottish Mini Spares. We've obviously got AFC Photograph, JRM Coachworks have done a great job in the car. All the championship sponsors, Pentland Powder Coating, and all the girls and guys at Team Slay Racing have done a fabulous job all this year, and like gone through hours and hours to look after us and help us all out, so they've just made Team Slay proud. It's been great.
Well, I know you didn't want to do that TV interview earlier on, but it definitely brought you some luck there. Congratulations on your first win.
Thank you very much. I'm absolutely over the moon.
It's a sweet feeling, isn't it?
It is. I still haven't come to terms with it yet. It's fantastic, yes.
Obviously, when you're out there in the lead and you have got these guys starting to bear down on you, what's going through your head?
Well, on top of not having anything in front of you to pace yourself from and know whether you're gaining or losing, try not to watch the mirror and just keep it on the track. Just keep the pace.
And pray for the checkered flag to come out.
And pray for the checkered flag. I'm watching the pit board going down lap after lap, and it's like, yep, okay. And Tim, to be fair, I made a mistake in the second last lap, and he got pretty close. But another couple of laps, he might have had me. But,
well, I hope you get an awful lot more wins. It's great to see you.
Thank you very much,
Thank you.
Thanks.
Well, that's the end of the season for the Celtic Speed Scottish Mini Cooper Cup, and our championship winner was David Slay. Make sure you join us for a full season roundup on the 1st of December at 6 o'clock. See you then.